Alrighty then. Here we are back again, y'all. Mindset Matters with Kevin Anytime, where we talk about different mindset topics. So let me give y'all a few updates real quick. Um, I went to Puerto Rico, which few of you have seen. I caught a cold or something. I caught some kind of stomach bug from my daughter that she had maybe 2 days ago. And so, right when I got back, I got sick immediately, so it put me down for a couple days. And yeah, that's that's been very interesting. I'm also moving, right? So I'm gonna be moving out of this. So this background is gonna look different because I'm gonna be in a different space. Um, and with that, I'm going to need to update this time as far as when I go live. So normally I go live at 7:30. I think the clocks are back for some people, so it's probably 6:30 in the morning right now. Right now it's 7:30 for us in Arizona because our time zone never changes. But yeah, I'm also going to be moving. So that's three. Those are three pretty big things that have happened in the past couple weeks. Very, very interesting times because there's just a lot to consider. Obviously, and moving stuff into the house, moving back and forth, all of that stuff. And then going on that trip, which I got a little bit of a vlog that I was trying to edit yesterday while I was laying down. And yeah, there was some interesting things that happened. Frontiers, um, flight was delayed, that I got left. Uh, the bags were held for some reason. Yeah, it was tripped out. Um, but the trip nonetheless was good. So I got there a day later than what I wanted to, but the trip was still it was a beautiful experience to be able to go out there for 2 days. So I'm extremely grateful again. Uh, but yeah, and then yeah, last night I was throwing up. So very interesting. Very interesting. It was like deep contrast right there because I could barely move yesterday. And I think because I was moving my stuff the night before and I was moving like my bed upstairs and the kids' beds upstairs, and that probably got me a little sore because I hadn't worked out in a while because of the trip. And yeah, yeah, that was really interesting because I was super sore on top of feeling incredibly nauseous, and so I felt like I got hit by a bus. But yeah, yeah, we're back. We're finally back here. So everything's good, and we're gonna continue on as necessary. So yeah, one of the things that I wanted to talk about here is life's journey because that was like a tornado. It was like things were really, really good. I was like, woo, everything was great. And then I got home and it was like smash, like all the way backwards. You don't feel good. And it wasn't obviously it wasn't anything that I could have done because I caught it. It was like a bug. It's some type of food poisoning or something. I ate some crackers yesterday. Like I'm doing much better, but I definitely didn't work out today because the strength wasn't there. I could still feel my stomach bubbling. I was throwing up and I had diarrhea, so it's like out of control. It's like the worst ever. So I don't know what my daughter had, but she ended up eating something and she threw up and then had diarrhea. So it was the exact same process. That's how I know most likely it was from her, other than what I had ate. But yeah, crazy. And so I was like all messed up and throwing up hurted so bad. My chest was hurting so bad, man. But but we are here, and that's what I'm here to talk about, y'all. That is literally what I'm here to talk about is that I I contemplated today for a moment. I was like, you know what? What is going on here? Straight up. Like that was the literal thought. I was like, what is this about, man? What do we got going on, Kev? Like how are we about to do this, dude? What's about to happen? What are you about to do? Right? And there's a number of things that need to be done, processes that need to be laid out, blueprints that need to be instituted. There is a lot to be done, and for a moment in time, I was like, allowing that to overwhelm myself. So again, instead of going to go work out, I was like, I'm gonna just meditate while I'm up for like an hour or so. And let me just calm down, just chill out for a moment. Because what happens is in that process of me feeling all of those feelings, I was ready to be like, you know what? This is what? For what? For what? Right? And it's really for you. It's really for you. And that's what that's what I'm gearing the institute to help to show people, is that you once you start to really dive into you and you start to do things for you instead of it being for the paycheck or for the job or the company. um I'm literally, this is mainly for me, right? All of this institution of things is for me to stay focused on the purpose, on the journey, on really changing life, because that's something that I'm extremely passionate about, is actually changing the way this thing is working right now. Because the way the corporate structure, the schooling infrastructure, all of that, the way it's set up right now is not, it hasn't been working. So we need to institute a new way of living. And it's like, who does that? And from what I've seen in history, it's just the people that decide to go into that journey, right? And so, yeah, I'm not looking for, because there's very few names. I was thinking about this and I'm like, okay, why were there so many people in the Bible and only few of them are mentioned, right? What is that? What does that mean? And that's with anything, really. You can put that to anything. Why are there so many people out here and there's only a certain amount of books, right? Even though there's a multitude of books, right? But you got to think of, okay, what does that mean? What did those individuals actually decide to do to separate themselves, to for people to know either who they are or use the inventions that they decided to invent? Like, what is that? It takes a particular individual to be like, you know what, this needs to be. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for different individuals that's like, yeah, no, we do need to make some changes here. We do need to actually institute different things so that kids can learn better, and so that parents are less stressed, and so that people actually do what they actually want to do. Like working and not really thinking about your work, right? Not really thinking about, oh, this is something that I just really don't like doing, but I got to come here for X, or I got to come here for this. That's that's what's backwards, and that's one of the things that we need to change. That's one of the aspects of this life's journey that we need to change, that we all collectively can change. That's what I know. And how do I know that? I know that we can do that because we all agree to stop at a stop sign. We all agree to stop at a red light. Like, it's a collective thought and agreed upon, like, yo, this is what this is. What? So why do we agree on the stop sign? Because we're like, okay, well, it's for our protection. This will protect us from harm. This will provide some form of safety, right? You can do that in so many, there's so many different little aspects of that in our lives, y'all, that we need to start really paying attention to. And that's why I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we need to do then. We need to really help people to understand meditation is something that's really needed, because that would calm a lot of people down, and that would help people to get a lot of clarity, a lot of people to get clarity as well. So I'm like, okay, that's something. And then um, affirmations, gratitude lists. The reason why these are important is because those outward expressions and reminders to ourselves is what is going to help to spin our minds in the correct direction, because the inclination of man is bad. We're automatically geared towards doing something that isn't really beneficial for us. Let's just soften the blow like that, right? We're automatically geared to do something that isn't really beneficial for us. So it's like, okay, then if that's the automatic process, How do we start spinning it back in the correct direction? Because the correct direction would be doing something that's slightly beneficial over time with ourselves, right? Like exercising, like reading different things, like, and that's reading is exercising your mind. It's not to say that some of the books that you read might be fictional, and that's fine. But what it does is it exercises a particular part of your brain, and so that's why it's beneficial, because it helps you to critically think. It helps you to it expands your awareness in a literary sense, right? So then we want to dive into the physical aspect of it. Well, that you visibly see why that's more beneficial. It makes you stronger. It increases your life expectancy. All of that stuff is like, okay, that makes sense. That's beneficial, right? Not to go too crazy with it. There's always the balance, but the things that on a bottom line need to be addressed in life. That's what I'm talking about. And we've gotten so far beyond, like, it's like the electric cars are needed because of the ozone, but we're trying to go outer space and we're not even really focusing on us right here, right now in the planet. That's the mindset that we need to have is, yo, let's clean everything up here. That's actually, you know what, to be real with y'all, that's one of the problems that we have here on this strip of land that we're on, is that we trying to go out and out and out, and we got homeless in the backyard. We got methamphetamine in the backyard. We got problems in the backyard, and we're not trying to address that. That's what needs to be addressed first and foremost. It's time to get in house. Like, oh, no, 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 no. We keep trying to go outside, outside, outside. Nope, we got to get in house right. And then we'll be able to go outside. But I get it. I do the same thing. Right? That's 100. I do the exact same thing. I'm like always trying to, yo, who do I need to save? Who's this? Who's this? And not checking in internally. And that's something that we just need to do. That's part of the process that we need to continuously, repetitiously go through, is checking in. And so that's another reason why that's a part of the program, because long term, that's going to put the idea of checking in our minds subconsciously, right? Fill out the recap. It's like, oh, that's what that's for. It's to consistently remind myself to check in. Why? Because we don't do it. That's the truth. We just simply don't do it. So it's like, okay, I better check in tonight. I better check in tomorrow. I better check in the morning. Some point in your day, you want to check in and be like, okay, where am I at? What's going on? What are we doing here? What's the goal? What's the vision? And then move like that, move accordingly, right? Um, it's I get it, like it's just coast and just be floating through, but you got to check in. You got to check in. There's moments in time where you got to be like, wait, I got to check in. Where are we at? How much time has passed? What's been going on? And really assess, what is this? What is this? What am I doing? That's what all of that stuff is for. That's what the meditation is for. That's what the I am affirmation, gratitude list, right? Power of hearing, power of sight, power of speaking, right? Going over that stuff, because it's like, am I doing that? Power of speaking. One of the objectives is go out and say something nice to somebody. There are days where we will go and we won't say nothing nice to nobody, y'all. That's reality of it. Sometimes that's how it goes down. Right. And so you want to check in and be like, yo, that's something that I want to do. And why do we want to do that? Fundamentally, I've seen that that's just a part of how Jehovah created this. That's a part of how God designed everything. Upbuilding conversation and compliments and nice gestures like that works. The IKEA test I told y'all they did with the plants, that's a fundamental visible representation of why that needs to be done, right? If we can speak to a plant negatively and the plant die faster than the recording that's speaking positively to another plant, that automatically should let you know that's a fundamental law of the universe. That's what that tells you. It's like when Newton saw the apple fall. He like, that happens for a particular purpose. He just named it. It's called gravity, right? He named it. But that also is something that we need to do, the beneficial speech, the compliments, the saying nice things to each other. Like that's something that we're supposed to do based off of that experiment. Because how is it that a plant can thrive or a plant could die based off of what we say? What type of energy is coming out of our mouths? That's how deep I'm trying to help people to think. And then the process that I'm in now, air and water, is asking deep questions. What is your faith? Why do you believe that? What is faith to you? Like, don't just go off of what you feel you've been told. Like, what personally does it actually mean for you? That changes the entire game, y'all. That changes the entire game. When you really make it personal, like, well, this is what it means to me. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. This is what it means to me. And this is what I'm standing on because this is me. This is my life. I have to decide how I describe and identify things, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So I'm I'm just yeah. These are the questions that I'm also having internally, y'all. So just so you know, it's not me identifying anyone or anything like that either. Is literally this is the stuff that I just was thinking about this morning and the stuff that I think about frequently, in my meditation and my prayers to God. I'm just like, dude, what is up, man? And I try and put things together and I'm formulating and I'm like, okay, like, all right, I know I'm giving it the best I can. That's why I can come on here so candidly, y'all, because I'm like, yo, I'm doing the best I can. That's what more can you what more can you expect out of somebody? Like, yeah, I come on here and talk about whatever. Cause I'm like, I know I'm putting in everything I got on every single day for sure. Even days when I feel like this, it's like, all right, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give myself way shorter than an hour. Make sure I come with some hard hitting points and then just go rest again because I'm still feeling kind of crazy. And I only ate crackers yesterday. I had crackers and chips yesterday, right? And a ginger ale because I'm like, yo, gotta settle my stomach down. But and rest is important, man. That's a whole nother thing that I'm going into that I'm gonna change all of this, y'all. I'm gonna change all of this, man. You not being able to call into work because you don't feel good is a problem. Because you don't have no PTO. That's a problem, dude. That's a problem. And the reason why it's a problem, I get it, businesses gotta run. But the reason why it's a problem is because you get this feeling of insurmountable obligation. Like you just cannot. You longevity is important. And if longevity was important to the company, they would allow you to rest to get well as much as you can. Now I get it, people take advantage of the system, but I don't think they would if they automatically got that freedom to say, yo, you know what? If you're feeling bad, take off. All right. Some type of system like, okay, well, maybe you don't get paid or maybe whatever. I don't know. But I know that that's something else that fundamentally needs to change. You need to be able to just be like, yo, I got to back off. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that's just what it is. That's how you feel after years of doing things or completing your tasks at work. Sometimes you just got to back up and you should be allotted that particular time. And the way that it's designed kind of gives you that, but it's tailored to a very particular way of operating as a human, and everybody doesn't operate that way. That's the difference. That's the difference, and that's why we got to change it, and we got to try and make it more universal so that it can be more adaptable to people and how they respond and how they best react, not just what's best for the company, not just what's best for that entity's interest, but what's best for the worker that decided to be a part of that journey. You see what I'm saying? Like those are the people that need to be rewarded, are the ones that decide to join in to be a part of it. And that's why I'll be checking in with people, man, because I'm like, yo, I appreciate y'all. Everybody that has ever been on here, I appreciate y'all. Jill, I appreciate you. I really do. And I do that by doing my best to continue to pull people in my timeline, right? Cuz I'm like, yo, my timeline is going to be great. And when that time comes, there are very particular people that I want to be around, that believed in me, that believed in the mission, that have the same way of looking at things. So, yeah, y'all. I'm my voice is going out, but this is it. This is it, y'all. This is it. We back. All right, we back live, and I'm gonna get some rest. Give it everything you got every single day. Y'all focus on the good, and always remember. You already know. You already know what I'm about to say. Is that mindset matters more than anything else. All right, we're gonna keep continue. Oh, and last thing is that the time is going to move back an hour because with me moving out, I'm going to have the kids on a particular week, and so that I can keep the consistency and that connection going with having the lives on a consistent basis. 7:30 probably wouldn't be the best option. I got to take Cool to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so he'll be there by 8 o'clock. So then I should probably be on live by 8:30, 8:45. So it'll probably be 8:45 because that'll give me enough time to get back, so I can set up. So yeah, look for the lives to be on at 8:45 going forward. Let me put that on there at 8:45 because that's going to be a better time. 7:30 is going to be too early. That's when I'm literally going to be driving to take him to school. So we'll save that. We'll put that on there every Tuesday at 8:45 AZ time. So look out for that, y'all. And I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna get some rest and drink some fluids. I'm sweaty, man. Anytime out.